So, yeah, I'm definitely getting sick. The weather is not very good, so I'm for sure getting sick, but that's okay. It's fine. It happens sometimes. We still need to look at least somehow decent. So what I'm going to do today is basically get ready with me, but using the products from my project pan and from my testing pile, because yeah, I didn't have a lot of time lately, so I need to catch up a little bit. And the way I will be doing that is probably by these lives where I will be using and testing the products from my panning and testing piles. Today I have been already working. I've had a few meetings, so I do have just a little bit of mascara on my eyelashes because I feel naked without a mascara. So what we're going to do is we're going to do the rest of my face, and yeah, that's basically it because I have a break right now, so I can do that. And first up is from the testing pile. It's the poreless blurring primer from Catrice. I still don't know how I feel about it because I tried to compare this primer for like 2 times, this one and the Sensational primer from Catrice, but for some reason I didn't actually see a lot of a difference between them. Of course, rather than the fact that the Sensational one is a little bit more glowy and this one is obviously matte, as you can see. But other than that, I didn't see any difference. I do have really enlarged pores, especially in this area, and therefore, I'm the perfect candidate for testing these kind of primers that claim that they are blurring. Okay, so we need to let this primer sit just for a minute. And for my foundation, I will be using my own mixture. I just bought this cushion. I don't even remember from where. And inside this cushion, I do have my own mixture of foundations that I put together. Basically, these are the foundations that I think it was the Easy Blur from Fenty, the glowy Estee Lauder Double Wear one for sure, and something else. I think the Sephora, yeah, best skin ever. So this is like a combination of everything. Why? Because, none of those foundations were perfect for me. So I just mixed all of them together into this cushion, and it's quite convenient to use. So I do know how this mixture works, and I think that's the best way to test a primer with a foundation that you know very, very well. You know how it looks on the skin, you know how it works throughout the day, and only in that case you can actually see the difference if the primer does anything at all. So I'm using just this little cushion puff to blend it in. Well, I don't know. To be honest, upon application, I don't really see a difference when I was using a primer and when I'm not using a primer. We'll see how it sets, because usually these blurring primers you can assess only after setting the foundation. So we'll see how it works. Alright, and just the forehead. I do have like this big zit here. I will need to try to cover that because this foundation will not cover that zit. Hi, nice to see you here. Okay, I think that is it for the foundation. Thank you so much. Hi, Just Lily, nice to see you here again. So for the concealer, I will be using the It Cosmetics Bye Bye Under Eye Concealer. This is from my testing pile because I still do not know how I feel about it. It's very thick. As you can see, it doesn't move, it doesn't budge. It is very pigmented, but at the same time, it has this clay-like texture, and it doesn't really feel that good on my under eyes. So I will be trying to make it work today, and I need to understand whether or not I like it because I've had it for quite some time, and yeah, I still don't know. And I think the shade is a little bit off. The shade is too light for me, but you know, cannot do anything about it now. It was very weird because this one is in the shade light, and it's too light for me. And then I do have the CC cream, and the CC cream is in the shade in the shade fair, and it's too deep for me. So I don't know how that works. I think they do need to work on their shade range just a little tiny bit. I will blend it out using the same puff from the cushion, because I do have some residue of the foundation there, and that way it's going to be kind of a little bit toned down, not as light. Okay, that doesn't look so bad. And I'll try to cover my zit using this. I will just leave it there for a sec. It is very pigmented. Maybe I would have liked it more if it was my shade, but yeah, unfortunately. Thank you. Okay, I think that's enough. I don't want to overwhelm my under eyes. Okay, I'll let it sit for just a second. The powder that I'm going to be using is my usual powder. It's also a combination of 3 powders. It's the Fenty Beauty in Lavender, it's the Wet n Wild in Translucent, and the ColourPop in Soft Pink. So let me just quickly set my face. Lipstick, pink color, okay. I don't have a lipstick on, but I don't know which one I will be using today. I think it will not be a pink one, we'll see. So I'll just lightly set. Okay, that looks quite good. Hello. Hello, Marilyn. Yeah, the only way to test a primer is to use, the foundation and the powder that you actually know how to use and you know how they work, because if you don't, then you don't know which product didn't work well. And I actually do want this primer to work because my pores are quite big, and sometimes I do want to blur them as much as possible. Okay, and now let's lightly set the rest of the face using a brush. Mr. Smile, you hire back. I don't know what you mean, sorry. Okay, that's about it. Let me just double check. Yeah, my pores do look a little bit more blurred than usual. We'll see how it wears. Now, another product that I want to test a little bit more is this one. This is the Gen Nude Highlighting Blush from Bare Minerals, but it's in the shade Mauve Glow. This is the shade, and the problem with this shade, let me just show it to you quickly. The problem with this shade is that it's very deep. Unfortunately, when I was doing my decluttering video about my blushes, I've mentioned it there that I've ordered the pink glow version, and unfortunately from Look Fantastic I got sent this one. Then I messaged them saying that, you know, it's not the shade that I've ordered. And they said, yes, okay, we're going to send a new one. And they sent another one of Mauve Glows. So yeah, I didn't do anything about that. I just ordered from Cult Beauty because, you know, if 2 times the same company sends you the wrong product, then there's something wrong with that, I think. And yeah, I didn't want this shade. And I don't know how I feel about this shade. I think it's a little bit too deep for me. I put it to my testing pile just because I wanted to try to use it during the fall, and it's fall, and as you can see I'm wearing a sweater. It is quite cold where I live. So that's the perfect time to try to test this product. I will be using it as a bronzer, to be honest, like all over the face basically. And obviously I'm trying, you know, to spread it on my brush so it's as even as possible because, yeah, it's very dark for my skin color. I have to be very, very light-handed. Thank you. Thank you so much. That shade suits me. I think so, but you know, when I need to do so many different things, I need to tap off my brush, I need to spread it around, I need to be very light-handed. It's just too much fuss, I think. I don't know. I don't know if I'm willing to do all of that just to have this shade, but I do like this shade. But there are other blushes. For example, the ones from Essence, the baked blushes, they do give a very similar, you know, glowy look, but they're not as pigmented and not as deep. They only have one deep shade. I think it's called Berry or something like that. I do own that, and it's not that difficult to work with. Okay, for the highlighter, I will be using my Hourglass one, this tiny mini, in the shade Incandescent Strobe Light. I do just have a tiny little bit left, so I do want to try to use it up. And it's not that difficult because it's a very delicate product. It's now getting difficult to pick it up. Okay, yeah. Looks good, the combination of the blush and the highlighter. Okay, now the eyes. The eyes will be the most interesting part because, well, unfortunately I already have mascara on because I've already had some meetings today. And yeah, I feel naked without my eyelashes. So we'll have to go around that somehow. Let me just put on some primer. The palette we're going to be using is this one. This one is the Edge of Reality from KVD. I do like this palette. I do really love the shimmers. The shimmers here are great. The mattes are also okay, but the thing is, with this palette, I know they've tried to do, you know, eco-friendly packaging. So this is cardboard. The only plastic component is basically this. I cannot take it out. I'm afraid I'm gonna break my nails. But the idea behind that was that you use up a palette, and then you have the packaging, and then you put in another palette. But I'm sorry, in our modern world, I don't actually think that people are using up their palettes. Some people, yes, but those people usually use, you know, the same shades all over again. And obviously I'm quite sure that not these shades. So I think it was a very interesting and unusual idea. And again, don't forget, this is cardboard. So if they think that you can reuse cardboard packaging for pellets and pellets, and you know, it takes years to use up a pellet. I don't know what was the idea about. And because of that, because it's all cardboard and things like that, you know, sometimes it's very difficult to close. Again, you see that. Sometimes I have dirty hands, so obviously you're gonna stain the palette. Sometimes you have wet hands. For example, if you wet your sponge, you're gonna have a wet hand, and you're gonna grab the palette and it's cardboard. So, you know, weird choice, I would say. But the shades I do like, and the palette itself is gorgeous. The shimmers are amazing. So yeah, let's just use, I don't know, let's just do a simple look. I will take this one as a crease color, I think, the lightest one for starters, and we'll see. I'm basically testing this palette not because I don't like the palette, or not because I don't know whether I like the palette, but because I want to see if I'm very irritated with the packaging or not that much, because the product itself is quite good. Okay, now let's deepen it up. I don't know which one should I choose. Maybe to go a little bit warmer. Okay, let's go. It's autumn, it's fall. Let's go a little bit warmer. Maybe with this one, this burnt orange kind of shade. I don't even think I've used it once because I don't, you know, usually use shades like that. I don't really like warm tones on my eyes. But for a fall look, I think that's okay. I'm not going to do anything complicated today because I think I'm getting sick, so I don't really have a lot of, I don't know, mental power to do that right now. And I have to be ready in like 27 minutes, so no time for that as well. Okay, that looks quite good, actually. And the shade is not, okay. For you, it looks quite warm. It looks like an orange shade. But for me, it looks like this muted orange, not too warm toned. Let's use the shimmer. I love this one. This one is a duochrome. And can you see that? It's this kind of, you know, classic duochrome from warm brown to green. But theirs is a little bit more pink, by the way, as well. But also very, very thin. So it looks great on the eyes. It's a shame that they do not have this palette anymore. If they re-release this palette, this particular one, in a different packaging, and at least do some effort on marketing, I'm sure that this palette would be very popular now as well. Can you see? No, you cannot see the duochrome effect, And let me use something in the inner corner. I don't know which one yet. I do want to use this one, the chartreusey kind of color, but I think it's a little bit too much for an everyday look, so let's use this one, the champagne color. Yeah, that works well. Okay, and the lower lash line, what do I want? Let's just not make it complicated and do the same thing. Basically take this one, the burnt orange shade, and yeah, on the outer corner, and that's it. Okay, let me just clean up a little bit right here and right here. Yeah, just like that. Okay. So what do we have left? I already have some mascara on my eyelashes, but let's maybe add a little bit more. And I do not have any mascara on my lower lash line. So let's do that. I'm sorry, I really cannot talk when I'm doing mascara. I mean, it's very difficult. I need to stay focused as much as possible. Oh yeah, if you're new to the channel, I'm using my Maybelline Sky High mascara. I consider it to be the best mascara of all time. All right, and the last thing I'm gonna do is apply lipstick, and this one is from MAC. It's from my project pan in the shade Mullet Over. It's the Powder Kiss formula, and I think this one will suit our eye look quite well because it's this warmer shade as well. And I do love the Powder Kiss formula from MAC. It gives this, you know, soft matte look, and the lipstick itself is very thin, so you don't feel it on the lips. But at the same time, by the way, it's sweet, so please don't eat it. Okay, just like that. So let me show it to you closer. What do you think about today's look? I think that this look gives, you know, the fall vibes that I was going for. And yeah, it's making me feel much better because, you know, when you're getting sick and you have to work and it's raining outside and it's cold and things like that, I mean, you need to do something with your mood. And this is exactly what helps me to, you know, put myself together and kind of start doing something. If I'm not ready, if I don't have my makeup, I don't know, I feel really bad. And not, you know, like bad because I don't look good, but I just don't feel put together. And when I have my makeup on and when it actually corresponds to my mood, then I feel good. And I think today's makeup does correspond to my mood, this fall warmish makeup. So thank you so much for staying with me. Thank you so much for watching this video, or this live, not video, sorry. If you do enjoy what I do, you can consider subscribing to the channel. I do have a lot of decluttering videos. I do have a lot of reviews, cosmetics, makeup, and perfumes as well. By the way, perfume. I forgot about a perfume. Yeah. I need to think about that. I need to put something on today. I don't know what. Do you have any tips for perfumes that you love using during fall? Because for me, I personally love everything during fall, and obviously, you know, the stronger gourmands. Something like the Mancera Choco Violet, for example, it gives this Christmas vibe, but I don't want to smell like Christmas right now. I want to smell like autumn, and cannot think of something right now. Okay, anyway, I'll need to figure something out, and I do still need to have some food. So thanks again, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye!